Iris has no idea what he means, but it seems to please him to talk. She sees Josephs and Marys and Jesuses of all ages and humours abandoned over and over again, because imperfect, because unworthy. The master rails on, punctuating his pauses with caresses of his brush. Painting holy subjects has always made a good living for painters. Though who among us doesn't fear being dashed into hell when we paint into a sacred scene from Scripture some baby we see on the street, a woman we love, a man we admire? The master becomes morose. And besides picturing the blessed, this in a sour tone, carping, as a painter, I catalogue the corruption of the world in staggering honesty, the misshapen, the unholy aberrations. The girl-boy of Rotterdam. I painted that cursed soul the year before it was stoned to death by the devout. I painted the 7 stages of plague, including the grey-green face of the unburied corpse, the hunchbacks, the split skulls, Dame Handelars with her horrible donkey jaw. The other side of Revelation. Through that door, should you want to see. I'll unlock it for you. All the proofs of our need for God. He points his brush at the door and raises his eyebrows in a question. Iris doesn't even dare to look at the door, much less ask for it to be unlocked. She doesn't want to see. She wraps her thin arms around her thin chest and asks herself again, where have we come to? The master turns back to his canvas. And I'll paint that changeling child yet, he says grimly. Harlem's hidden beauty, more witness to the weirdness of this world. Iris remembers the girl at the window, the girl who gave the toy to Ruth. She'd asked if Ruth was a lost one, a changeling. Was Harlem a haven for such goblin beasts? Iris had heard that from time to time a poor infant might be kidnapped from its cradle and replaced with a rotten, illish creature resembling it in looks alone. A changeling is said to be deficient of something essential, either memory or sense or mercy. Iris wants to ask the master about the nature of changelings and how to identify one, but he interrupts her thoughts, mumbling on. And even though I testify about the terrible human state and its rescue by the sanctity of Jesus, what in this annus Dominus are we brought to? We, the labourers, the artisans, the cooks of linseed stew. The master throws his brush across the room. They want flowers. Flowers for commerce. Beauty to sell as if it had its own sake. Why don't the dreamless Calvinists just go off to Constantinople? Why don't they join the pagan Mohammedans who rebuke the notion of portraying divinity in anything but Euclidean tiles of blue and gold? Well, why don't I just take myself to the Spanish Netherlands and set myself up there, where I can paint what I want, and keep food on the table as well? Why don't you? asks Iris, goaded from her shyness by his ranting. I love my home, and this is my home, he yells. Don't you understand that? Iris doesn't answer. Home is hard to recollect already, usurped by that nightmare of tortures, accusations, an escape in a flatboat over fields flooded with sea water as the full moon blazed upon them like the eye of a vengeful judge. Her family had left home so quickly. Who really knew if Jack Fisher was even given a Christian burial? Or was he still drifting in the suck of the receding tides, a bloated corpse leaching his blood into the ruined crops? What? What is it? Says the master, coming toward Iris, but she starts and jumps away. A minor demon, sniffing the midnight air on the hunt, chasing after them. No, she says, keeping it all unremembered. No, no! Then if you won't say out in the air. Enough of my prattle. What do you care for the madness of an obsessed man? Go for flowers. Go with your enormous sister for flowers. Trot off and drag an armload of pretty weeds for me so I can waste my time and feed myself." He looks at Iris, then peers down into his brushes, splaying the bristles of one with his clean left thumb. "Bring me flowers, child," he says, more softly. "Out into the air with you. You look like a crone before your time."